Good morning and welcome to AM Break with Ann and Audra. I'm Ann.
And I'm Audra.
And we are here at Weezy's.
Yes, and our new digs.
Our new digs.
I feel like I'm always
furniture.
shopping.
I know, in your head. How much money do you spend
Like
every
check,
time we're
check. Hey, Sean.
Yeah, we want this. And actually, I do love this couch. I like the little bolts and some of the details and some of the new stuff that they've gotten. It's very masculine, but has a soft side to it. So it'd be great for a home, for a family, I think. So kind of satisfied
Battle
both
of the
sides.
sexes.
Right.
Kind of
meet together in the middle
design.
and a very, very swanky kind of, I don't know, posh
It's just
way.
comfy though. Can we wave? Oh, is that not a good shot?
Maybe not, but you know, you are tempted on these couches. They're fantastic. We love them. But you, so we just got done with the big
Black and white bash.
right, for Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Yep.
A lot of
BB.
B's. And then also, you're actually getting ready to hit the road.
Hit the road for the chamber conference,
That's
annual
right.
chamber conference. So I'm excited. There's a lot planned. And I love the focus. They're actually having like an arts focus a little bit. One of the
Oh.
guest speakers, arts. We're taking a special trip down to Jacksonville to see the Vickers collection, which I think is a big deal. And they're trying to get that here in this, the capital city. So
What's
a lot
the
of
Vickers
things.
collection exactly?
So the Vickers collection is like one of the largest collections of Florida artists that's around. And they're trying to partner with Florida State University and see if
Okay.
they'll buy it and purchase it. But I'm going to learn more. That's why I'm going on this trip. So
Wonderful.
maybe on the next show, I'll give y'all a recap of what it is exactly and kind of go from there.
Right. So on the next show, we will
Yes.
be talking about the chamber conference, which is
Yes.
a huge deal. A lot of members of the community head
Yeah.
that way, socialize, network, and
Take time off from work. Because, you know,
Right.
people, you get distracted. You're here and you're like, let me go by the office real quick.
well, and that's one of the reasons why the chamber will tell you they take everyone out of town,
Right.
And they get you out of work, out of your environment where you're normally working, and they make you network
go.
and socialize with each other.
Yes.
And if everybody you work with is there anyway, so it should be easy, right?
Yeah.
And so every year it bounces back and forth. This year we're going east to Amelia,
Amelia
Island.
Island. So I'm excited about that. Close to Savannah. I may pop through Savannah. Just
Yeah.
give me an idea.
That's actually it's not a bad drive from
Oh, it's like an
Jacksonville.
hour. Yeah. Like so.
Yeah, maybe you want to do that. Go back to your old stomping grounds.
Yay.
All right, so on this show this week, we are talking to one of our favorites, Kim Rivers.
Oh, love Kim. And she's celebrating a big thing.
Huge.
She's
Gigantic.
She's a boss babe.
She
Hashtag
is a boss babe. And basically what she's done is she is the first location.
Licensed medical cannabis retailer and just front organization to
Right.
sell in the state of Florida.
And that
Breaking,
is
making
huge.
history.
In
It's awesome.
Tallahassee. So we're so proud of her. She's a very good friend of both of ours. And so we are going to celebrate that accomplishment and learn
Yeah.
more about it and what that means for the state of Florida because they're also delivering. That's what we have coming up for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to AM Break with Ann and Audra. We have a distinguished history maker amongst us today. This is
do.
Kim Rivers, the CEO of Truly. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you so
Yay,
much for
and
having me.
friends.
Yes,
Yay.
thank you.
And why are you a history maker? Let's just get right into it. And what have you accomplished recently that everyone
week of
should be so impressed with?
Yeah, so I am very happy to announce that True Leave is Florida's first medical cannabis dispensary. We opened our doors, and so yes, we're very proud. We also made our first home delivery, and we were the first organization to pass all of our state inspections. So we are officially open for business.
That is amazing. Now, let's take a step back. Why is medical cannabis so important to the country, really?
Yeah, it really is. Medical cannabis is so important because it helps folks with terminal illnesses and with other serious conditions. So in Florida, there are a couple of conditions that are allowable to use medical cannabis. And so the first are folks that have severe muscle spasms, seizures, pediatric epilepsy is actually a condition that we see quite a bit, or folks with cancer. And so they qualify to get the high CBD, low THC form of medical cannabis, and so that's the non-euphoric version.
Okay.
Then the second classification are folks with terminal illnesses, and they qualify for what's called whole plant cannabis, which is any strain, any amount of THC, CBD, or a combination therewith. So we are talking about really Florida's most vulnerable populations.
Right, and just so people at home know, just a clarification, we'll show you the different products that are available, but a point of clarification is that you cannot smoke medical cannabis.
That's correct. In the state of Florida, it is specifically and statutorily illegal to smoke any form. So all of our products are either oil-based or they are vaporized.
I think people need to understand. I think when people hear medical cannabis, they're like, give me a sample, pull some weeds for me. And it's like, no, that's not the case. So if they went out to the nursery right now, what would they get? Like, what would they see? What kinds of plants are growing there?
Sure. So it's all strains of cannabis, but our nursery is kind of a misnomer. It's it's an indoor growing facility, cultivation facility, but it is all climate controlled. It's a clean environment. We actually say that we lovingly refer to it as the matrix because that's what it looks like. It's everything is sealed and every portion of the environment is controlled. We don't use pesticides, and so we are, like I said, are in a clean grow environment. And then we have an in-house laboratory. We triple test everything before it goes out. We have a full manufacturing process that's there. It's scientists in lab coats. All of our employees are required to take a shower and wear scrubs. It is a very, very specific scientific process.
And actually, Audra and I were at the grand opening at the press conference, and we actually got to hear from some mothers who have children that have been using medical cannabis or wanted to.
Yes.
And one of their attractions to you and support for you is that you did have a controlled environment for where you grow. And one of the moms said, why would you allow pesticides on something that's supposed to save someone's life? And so it was a great point. I didn't even think anything about that.
No, absolutely. And that's, it is something that we are very proud of that we've been able to achieve. We test, like I said, for all of the cannabinoid profiles in every single one of our plants, as well as to test for the absence of heavy metals, pesticides, any toxins. We have a toxicologist on staff. We have a medical director on staff. So it's Florida's, like I said, we take very seriously. It's Florida's most vulnerable population. And when you think about that your product is being ingested by those individuals, it is of the utmost importance that we have really, really high quality controls and standards.
So let's talk, so there are people at home thinking, yeah, I'm going to get me some. Let's talk about the process of what it takes to qualify to be a patient using this particular product.
Sure. So currently, the first step is to have a physician who the physician is qualified. And so in order for a physician to get qualified, they have to first take an 8-hour CME course. It's offered by FMA and FOMA.
And CME stands for?
Continuing Medical Education.
Got it.
And so they take the 8-hour course, and then they have to register with the Department of Health. And so once they complete the course, they register with the Department of Health. The Department of Health says, yes, you're verified. You now have access to what's called the patient registry. And so a patient has to get on the patient registry. They need to go and see one of these qualified physicians. The physician will then confirm that they have one of the qualifying conditions that we just went over. And assuming that they do, they then are entered into the patient registry. Now, one caveat in Florida is that a patient has to be seeing that physician for 3 months prior to that physician being able to enter them into the registry. Once they're entered, then they simply call us, or they can come by our store. We do offer delivery statewide by calling 1-844-TRUE-LEAVE, or you can come to our physical location, and then we'll look them up, confirm that they are in the registry, confirm they have an active order, and then it's really very similar to a pharmacy transaction at that point.
Okay. How many people do we have so far? How many doctors do we have so far certified? Because you've just started this process, so I have to imagine the number right now is pretty low, but I bet you have quite a few signed up to take that course.
We do. We actually just got back from the Florida Medical Association conference where we talked to hundreds, literally, of physicians. There was an enormous amount of interest in medical cannabis and in our product specifically. We did product demos with the doctors, with empty products.
Sure.
Just to be clear.
Like we'll show you later on the show.
Right, just for display purposes. But no, physicians, I think, are very interested. Currently, that's a little bit of a hard question to answer because all we have for public record is the doctors who have completed the course. We don't have a public list of those doctors that are actually in the registry. So we're in the process at Trulieve right now of contacting every single one of those 120 physicians that have completed the course to ask,
but that's a high number.
It is. Are you actually in the registry? Are you interested in seeing patients? And so we're in the process of developing a preferred physician list that will then be able to refer. We get a lot of patient calls of just folks looking for doctors, and so we'll have that resource available probably by the end of this week.
Okay, that is amazing, actually. So
what's next? I'm curious because, I think there's some things on the ballot. Can you inform the people at home what's coming up? What's the next step? What are people able to vote on coming up?
Sure. So Amendment 2 is on the ballot, and really Amendment 2, from our standpoint, the really critical part of Amendment 2 is it expands the conditions. So it expands the number of patients that would potentially qualify for medical cannabis. I think a point to make is that it is and will continue in the state of Florida to be very regulated.
Okay.
So this is not a situation where, at least we don't foresee, a pot shop on every corner or, some sort of all of a sudden overnight we're going to be California or Colorado. But it does take some very serious conditions such as AIDS, Crohn's disease, just some folks who really do need some help, and allows them to also have access.
Awesome.
That's amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick break, a quick commercial, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the different products and how people use them, because again, we're not allowed to smoke it in Florida. So how exactly do we ingest medical cannabis? We're going to talk about that in just 30 seconds. Stay with us.
Text we care, yeah. Don't text while driving. Please don't text while driving. For safety we are striving. Please don't text while driving. Don't text and drive. Don't text and drive. If you wanna stay alive, please don't text and drive. Please don't text while driving. Don't text while driving. For safety we are striving. Please don't text while driving.
Welcome back, and you're taking a look at all the different products that are available via Trulieve. So we're going to let Kim talk us through this because, again, we're not allowed to smoke this, those who are medically able to use these products. So let's go ahead and start wherever you want. What are we looking at?
Sure. So right now we have two main routes of administration that Trulieve is offering patients. So the first will be oral, and so this is a tincture bottle, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You just, it's a dropper bottle, and you would just take it out, put it directly on your tongue. We also have capsules, again, very self-explanatory. These are just gel capsules that are dosed in 10 milligram capsules. And I'm showing you now, this is our CBD strain, and so this is the non-euphoric product line that's available for patients with cancer or with severe muscle spasm seizures. We'll also have the capsules available in the full other strains for terminally ill patients as well. This is a CBD syringe. This is a very popular product with the moms that you were speaking of earlier. For pediatric patients, because it can be very, very finely dosed. So everything has to be in child-proof containers, of course, but our syringe, we actually have an exclusive arrangement with this company, and you twist instead of plunge, which makes dosing a lot more accurate. This is a very concentrated product and can go either directly in the mouth, or you can put it on a cracker, or you can actually put it on wax paper and freeze. And so those are our three oral products. And then we have two different types of vaporizer or inhalation products. And the vaporizer products are important because it's a quicker way to get the product into your bloodstream. Sure. And so the first is, this is an oil-based vaporizer. And so it's pretty self-explanatory, but you just pull it out, and it's USB charged. And then you just remove the end. I'll just show you how it works. And then this would be how you would purchase. Then this would be filled with oil, and we go through a process called fractional distillation for this product, and it's a refinement process that really purifies the oil down to where we're able to actually pinpoint the active ingredient down to separating all the different cannabinoid profiles. So THC, CBD. So it's a really really great product. And then it's just as simple as that. And so that's this vaporizer. And then the second vaporizer that we offer, we will also have an exclusive with this company. And so it's basically just like a Keurig situation to Audra's analogy there. So you just open the top, and this is a pre-filled, and the top is sealed. So again, we want to make sure that patients are using it for vaporizing. Sure. And it's a pre-filled with ground flour, and you would just put it directly into the top. Put the top back on, and then it's pre-programmed to heat to a certain degrees. And what happens is that at certain temperatures, the THC or the CBD, the active ingredient, will evaporate or vape off of the ground flower. And so all of these are pre-dosed and available in our stores now.
Well, Kim,
That is amazing.
This is so cool because I think another thing that we learned at your grand opening is that really it's a case-by-case basis, right? Not everyone responds the same way to whatever kind of dosage or material they get. And there's a great physician that you had. What was his name?
Our medical director, Dr. Ken Brummel-Smith.
He was great. And, people are kind of on the fence. Well, it's not medically proven. Well, a lot of things aren't medically proven, and everyone responds differently. So I love that you have this array of products for different people. I mean, this is some cutting edge stuff, people. I mean, like, she created an industry. Not you created it, but I mean, you're in it.
We have a great team, and like I said, we're very lucky to have the number of experts that have worked with us to develop our product line. And to Dr. Brummel-Smith's point, I think that one of the recent articles that has come out is just in states that have legalized to some form or fashion medical cannabis, the amount of opiate painkillers and the prescriptions decreasing significantly where medical cannabis is available. So really, when you think about having different treatment options, particularly in serious conditions, end of life, as opposed to maybe some of the other products that are in other medicines that are available, I just think that it's really important to give folks, that alternative.
All right, wonderful. So if you're interested in learning more about it, not necessarily even becoming a patient, but because you're not eligible, but you want to know more about this, what do we do?
Well, we have a great website, and so it's trulieve.com, and that's TRULIEVE.com. So I would say start there for sure. We do have a physical location open at 800 Capitol Circle Southeast, so please feel free to come and visit us there. And like I said, if you are a patient or want some more in-depth information, we do have that 1-800 number available, and so it's 1-844-TRULIEVE. So we would love to discuss and answer any questions.
Wonderful. All right, so we will stay up to date with what's going on with TruLieve. And again, congratulations. We're so proud that this happened in Tallahassee, and it's somebody that we know and love very much.
Babe.
Thank you.
Hashtag.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for having me.
Come celebrate National Barbecue Month with all-you-can-eat St. Louis ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. Served with 2 sides and bread for just $14.99 for a limited time.
You are looking at Doak Campbell Stadium, under construction, but the clock is ticking and it will be ready for a football season. Doak Campbell Stadium looking good, and Doak Campbell Stadium is the site this week for our episode of Live in Tallahassee, and man, do we got a good one for you this week. John Summers, Jerry Kutz, everybody is here because we have an update on what's going to happen with this Champions Club and the entire stadium with just about a couple months to go into football season. And Jerry, in a minute we're going to go take a tour, but I mean, are we going to make it?
Absolutely, we have no choice.
I love it. It looks like construction is going well.
It is really well. We're so proud of Childers Construction and Brad Ennis and his team at EMI. That they're local architects and contractors. They've done a phenomenal job.
John, what do you got?
Well, Jerry, I wanted to ask you, I mean, this is the first time I've been in here and actually seen this. It's an unbelievable experience. The fans that are considering becoming members of the Champions Club, is there a way that obviously you can't bring everybody in here to see this before the season begins, but are there pictures? Someone told me there's a time lapse of this going on.
We have a website called FSUClubSeats.com, and there's a webcam live on there. So people they sit down there at work and they watch it. But there's a lot of photographs on there. It's a lot of fun. But I'll tell you what, John, anybody who calls me at 508-8690,
yes, you will.
I'll take them on the same dang tour.
There you go. Well, now if that's not watch out, 20,000 people just saw that.
Well, if you don't look online at the time lapse and you can't find time to get over for a tour, that's why we're here, folks. Live in Tallahassee. Let's go to our sneak peek of the Champions Club. All right, stadium is looking absolutely amazing. Now on the indoor part of the Champions Club with the sports bar. Jerry, let's start here, and this is all new space and all reinvented.
All new space, all reinvented. It was dead space before. This was an upper concourse that had no bathrooms, no food, anything. And it got re-envisioned by some smart architects.
Is that right? If you can imagine the highest seats in the end zone, way at the top, this is where we are, but now it's all inside, and inside there's going to be a lot to do. You know, now the camera's going to move around while you're talking, but
okay.
We've got our mobile camera that can see all these things and keep going. So let's talk. Let's start down here and see what.
Well, if you look all the way to the far end, this is a 40,000 square foot space. And the far end we envision like a country club ballroom. Multi-purpose space where we will have weddings throughout the year, business meetings, conferences. This space will be rented a lot, so it's going to be more of a multi-purpose space. Sure. As you move across from the far end, across through this will be a hallway that comes through here. And where the camera is right now will be settings of furniture, couches, lounge chairs, where people can visit even during the game. A nice air-conditioned place to visit.
And now with a great view. With the best view maybe anywhere.
A great view. You know, as a conference center was the big thing, Joel. When we built this place, one of the design elements was most stadiums only used their facility on game day. And we kind of broke the mold here. This facility will be used 365. It's a place, you know, for 18 years at the University Center Club. We've been running about 1,200 events a year in there.
Sure.
And now we just put that really on steroids. It's a greatly expanded capacity.
So people who have enjoyed renting out the space before, now there's even more space, and even with the great view, which you didn't used to have it in the third floor, but now you can do that on way up here at the top.
Well, this is the sports bar. The sports bar's it's over 17,000 square feet. Huge bar. That on game day is going to be the epicenter. This is where the fun people are going to be. Joel, you and me and our wives will be over here.
I like the sound of that.
And then this is going to be a lot of fun over here. There's 170 high-definition television screens within the complex. Many of them are right in here. If you look out, if I could direct the camera, if we look out the windows to the upper deck, you see the upper deck. And there'll be paddle fans hanging off of there. You can see the wiring in there right now for them. But there'll be 2 TV sets mounted there. So as we're standing at the glass watching the game, Florida State beating Clemson, we can also enjoy Georgia beating Florida right there in front of us. They could stay open during the construction process. We put a temporary wall.
Okay.
Yeah. That wall will come down next week or 2.
And then what will that space turn into?
It'll turn into it'll still be the Osceola Grill. On game day, on all throughout the year, members will use it. But we'll also offer now patio dining under these roofs. And so, on game day, the Osceola Grill is part of the Champions Club experience. So for those of us who bought seats on this upper terrace, we have the terrace experience outside and still have access to air conditioning there. Down below, there's a receiving courtyard. And that was the thing with 2 entrances into the club. I felt like we had to have a central receiving courtyard, one place of arrival. So the gates, Brad Ennis designed, and they're reflective of Westcott.
Main gates hit at the end of college.
Yeah. And on either side, you'll see palm trees in those beds. That'll all be a brick courtyard. So on game day, we'll check your bag and enter, your scan through those gates. You'll come into the courtyard and you've arrived at that point.
That's the construction. Now, live in Tallahassee, we're going to be here about every couple weeks. Jerry has agreed to let us in, pull back the curtain, and see, as we count down to football season, how exciting it is, because this is really an entire stadium under construction, but it looks great.
I wanted to ask you. It's beautiful, unbelievable for the VIPs, of course, and things. But for our valuable season ticket holders, what do we have in store for them?
I'm glad you asked that question. There's a lot. Right behind the camera, if you will pan and look, there's a phenomenal scoreboard going in there. It's It's one of the largest 5 in the country. A high definition screen. It's more than 2.5 times larger than our other scoreboard. A new sound system that gives Doak a very clear voice. But in addition to that, as you look around at all these bleachers, we've done almost $30 million worth of repairs and painting of Doak Campbell Stadium, which is nearing completion. Every bathroom every bathroom has been painted, maintenance done to it. I'm not talking about a renovation like your wife might want.
Right.
But it's we've made drastic improvements to the bathrooms.
So when the fans come this fall, they're going to see a vastly improved game day experience.
Yeah, they'll see a big difference.
Yeah, and
I think the scoreboards and the ribbon boards is what everybody
and
will
the sound
notice.
system. Yeah,
the sound system.
Right.
But the painted seating decks and the bathrooms are to be a pleasant upgrade.
Well, we can't thank you enough for the opportunity to come behind the scenes here and see all of this. I know our viewers appreciate it, and I guess we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Well, because I have to ask, because this is really all about a game experience, because there is nothing, and I've talked to our great athletic director here, there's nothing like coming to the game actually and being at there. You don't get that many home games in a year, so you only have a limited option. But if you want to get the experience of FSU football, this is how you do it, and now it's even better.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. And I think some people say, well, you guys are competing against HD TV.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
No.
Because there's nothing like the game day experience. I mean, sitting in your living room, are you going to run into an old college friend?
Exactly.
Are you going to see some of our beautiful co-eds?
Right.
Not in my house, you won't.
Are you going to have the marching chiefs? Are you going to have the Golden Girls?
Yeah.
Are you going to have Chief Osceola?
None of it.
None of it.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it's important that we address the game day experience. And that's from Friday, the block parties FSU does, the game day tailgating, all the way to Sunday. I mean, we just have to make it a great experience because a very high percentage of our fans, almost 70% of them, come from far outside Tallahassee to get to the games.
We love it. We love it. That's amazing. And remember, we're going to be back in a couple weeks, and the more paint will be up, more of the stuff will be happening, so stay with us. Jerry, John will all be here. But for now, commercial break, live in Tallahassee, back right after this message.
What an awesome show. And I think it's great for people to really understand what legal medical cannabis is. I think a lot of people think it's just, I get some weed now. Well, no.
No, not at all.
And there's different ways of using it, and it's really for medical purposes. I mean, it's a great thing, so great.
And so Kim has learned so much about the regulation of it and observed other states and how they do it. And so it is a huge deal for the state of Florida to have this new step in medical technology.
It's a new industry.
Right,
it's a new industry.
And so we're excited about that. But coming up on the show next week, we're sending Audra off to the conference, the Tallahassee Chamber Conference. She's going to have a great time over there at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yes.
In Amelia Island. right. So we'll tell you about that next week. Thanks for joining us.